Hi there, I'm Sean Emmett Thompson, and my piece Playing with the Light for String Quartet is getting performed on July 6th. And I figured I'd talk a little bit about the piece and what inspired it, why it's called Playing with the Light, and all that. To keep it brief, I studied composition at San Francisco State University. And before that, I was self taught at guitar for, 8 to 10 years before I knew how to read a lick of music notation. And so I've had this tumultuous journey of what kind of musician I am and um, how to make music and how to think about music. And it's been a rewarding yet difficult journey. And Playing with the Light sort of represents this turning point in my mind where I started to think about how can I consider making music in a way that feels unique to me? Because before that point, I was nearly obsessed and quite preoccupied at the very least with pleasing my professors rather than trying to make the music that was compelling to me. Um, that part's always in there, but it's hard to listen to that when there's so much imposter syndrome and doubt and stuff that kind of lives in your mind. And before writing this piece, I had thought a lot about, should I try to write music based on these rules and these new things that I'm learning about, or should I try to make music just based on the stuff that feels good to me, right? And I used to arrange music based on songs I would write on guitar. But some of my professors, or at least one in particular that I can think of, would make some, not so great remarks about composer performers and the quality of their works being lower for some reason. Um, and, he's from an older generation, and so I don't fault him for this perspective. But that kind of got to me for a long time. And Playing with the Light was my way of trying to push back against that idea that you have to do a certain thing in order for something to be valid within the creative arts, right? So it's based off of an old piece that I would play on guitar that had these odd time signature shifts and very narrative sort of musical decisions written in there. And I was obsessed with this idea of like light refracting and creating new colors and shading and contrast and thinking about how all of that functions, both viscerally, if not just visually. So anyways, that's my sort of distillation of Playing with the Light, and curious to see what everyone else's thoughts on the piece are once they hear it on July 6th at 4 p.m. And I'm really thankful to the quartet for performing the piece. It's been a wonderful return to the medium of composition after taking quite a bit of a break. So, see you then.